have highlighted, you may get different grips. So for example, if you click on a line, you'll notice you get 3 grips. You can click on them. Now there's different states. You got the blue, you got the hover, and then you got the click. So you've got blue, peach, and then red. So when they're red, you can actually modify. Now if you hover over it, you'll notice I get a pop-up menu. Stretch basically means I want to stretch it anywhere. Lengthen means I just want to increase the length of it. And you actually get 2 inputs. You get an overall, and you get an input for the difference, the change. Okay. So, and you can tab between those. Now you can also click the center grip and move the line. Now, once a grip is selected, you have options. So if you right click, you have move, rotate, scale, and mirror. So if I do rotate, I can basically rotate that around that point. Click on it, right click. Let's say I want to do multiple rotates. I could go to rotate, right click and go down here to copy. So now I'm making multiple rotates. I could actually draw a box with just this one line. I could click on this, go to copy, and then I could stretch it, or actually I could do rotate. And I forgot to do rotate, copy. Now I can rotate it and make a copy. I can click on this one. It's a hard way of doing it, but it can be done. Now, if you've got more than one line selected, you can also copy those. So if I select these, hover over the grip, and let's say mirror, I can make a mirror. But you've got to keep doing the copy. I keep forgetting that. So mirror, copy. Here we go. And it takes a little while to get used to using those features. I don't always use the copy and stuff like that, but it's there. So let's say you wanted to take these top shapes and we want to turn them into the bottom shapes. Well, if this is a circle, you can just click on it. You have a grip, it says stretch or radius. If I just use stretch, and I can just stretch that midpoint down. Now I could tab over. Nope, it's not going to give me an angle, so I don't get an option. I'm just going to have to drag it down. You can basically fill this in with the copy. Now you're going to have to do this with one of your assignments, but I could do stretch or I could do a mirror, especially if this is along the midpoint. So you could click on that. And actually what I would do is I'd pick this line, do this grip, and basically do a copy, and then I could stretch it over like that. You can also move multiple grips at once. So for example, I could select these endpoints. I can hold down my shift key, click on both grips, let off of my shift key, and then I can move these down. Now I could have very easily picked the midpoint too, but I want to show you how to do multiples. Let's take a look at the splines. Let's say you want to make it look more like a sine wave. You can click on this, hold down your shift key, let off, and then pick one of them, and you can move these all down. my shift key, pick these, and move them all up. So it has a lot of functions. Now some objects will actually have menus. Like for here I can do a fit curve, or what they call a control vertices. So spline works a little different. If you have a dimension on a drawing, you can click on the dimension. You can edit the location of the dimension by using this grip. Using the grip at the top, I can flip the arrow. I can even start a continued dimension right off of that. If you hover over the text grip, you get some options. So every object will give you a different options of grips. Okay? So they'll look a little different as you go. Like this is what we call a dynamic block. If you click on this object, notice all the grips you have. I can flip the door using grips. I can change the opening angle. In the level 2 class, we actually get into creating dynamic blocks with these grips. So that kind of gives you an idea of how grips work. I use grips a lot on polylines. My favorite is when you click on the center grip, I can stretch it. I could add a vertex. So I want to go in and actually click on Add Vertex. I can add a vertex. I could then come over to this one and say I want to convert it to an arc, and now that's an arc. A polyline is made up of line and arc segments. So you can very easily go in and modify those. And like I said, each object has its own unique way of using grips. So you just got to get familiar with the objects and how it handles grips on those. But you'll find that you're going to be using all of them throughout the day. Now, on that other drawing that I had open up earlier, this one, these are blocks, and a single block has a single grip. You can move that block with the grip, but it may not have the insertion point that you want to align with. Okay. And you'll notice one's on the right and one's on the left because the block got mirrored. All right, so we have a few exercises